Okay, so I have actually in the meantime come back and I have applied the third coat of shellac on this one, also on the main base unit. If it is visible, this one. So already third coat of shellac. I have to wait for a little bit longer before I apply the fourth, but that's not what I am going to do right now. So I will keep this aside. I want to bring back um, the top of the unit because it already has like four coats. I want to do the final step on that one, like buff it up, not buff it up. What do we call that? De-nib the surface, like to remove all the imperfections. We'll see how it works. So first I have to remove this, like keep it aside and bring that back, making sure I don't drop anything. So I have got the stuff that I intend to use. So this is just wax. So I've been using food grade wax recently. Even though like anything, I think min wax, that is hard wax, probably may be better for this. But I have a little one who tries to touch this and put his hands in his mouth. So this works just fine, and I feel a little bit better. So this is like just steel wool, the 4040. Any brand works, but this is, I guess, a premium one. So I had bought a roll some time back. So what I am trying to, not sure if it will come out properly. So sound, if you can hear the sound, like obviously I can see the imperfections little bit, but if it comes in the microphone, if I feel my hand, so it's a rough surface. So how this is going to change? So this thing, unlike sandpaper, it's not going to remove material, but it's going to remove the imperfections, like cut through the surface. And so without anything like wax or anything, first I will try to just go over it. Try to go like, I try to go with the grain, but I think any circular motion, anything, this should not matter. It seems like it's becoming a little bit dull, but that's actually not a bad thing. That is getting rid of the glossiness. It's bringing like a natural sheen to it, like a little bit of matte, and it's making it so much uniform. Here I went against grain because like I'm making sure I cover all surfaces, even the underside. Now maybe on the microphone it's the same sound comes, but in my hand I feel like lot smoother. I can go a little bit more, but I think this is enough. I will again come, like after this, like I will again come back with some wax, and I'll use the same steel wool, especially the runners, because it will help make those like glide smoother. I mean, usually it's for the appearance, but the inside part of it I'm doing so that the drawers slide even like really smooth. So I'm trying to feel with the hands to, like even by touching I can feel like where I have already like gone through or the ones that I haven't yet. So these ones I can clearly feel. This is the just a time consuming step, but this thing cannot go wrong. So take the time, like and enjoy the outcome. So that's what I'm, even places where I can feel like a little bit of like, let's say a bristle of that hake brush or something getting stuck, I just rub it against that, and that it just cuts through it and that comes off. For some projects I have actually directly gone like with some wax and this one in one step, and that has also worked for me. But the amount of effort I have put on this, I don't mind putting in that extra step. I'll do the same on these drawers now. especially those surfaces that that slide against a wall or against the runner. It's important to go over those, which means the underneath of the drawer. Now I will remove the dust. I mean, shop vac again is ideal, but we are applying, like, we are not applying any finishes. Even if there something gets stuck in the wax, we can wipe it clean at any point. So it's not a big deal, but we want to keep our project clean. So maybe I have a small handheld vacuum that I will use. The drawer may look dirtier than it I started with, but that is just temporary. This will look stunning. Use a brush, blower, vacuum, anything you have at hand. For me, this piece of cloth seems to work just fine. I'll take a little bit more so that it is easier for me to grip. Now this is probably not the, I mean, it's at the end, it's all wax. Even simple beeswax will work. Along the grain, circular motion, anything I cover, I ensure I cover all surface. We have to remove and buff up the remaining in a few minutes, an hour. I'll give it some time. Just trying to look at it from various angles to ensure I have covered all spots. This is looking very nice, feels very nice. More importantly, this piece and the two small drawers, after this is done, like right now, I'm going to take it to my home, like to the spot where I intend to keep. The reason being, I don't like to make space here. Little bit on the underside, just so that someone like me here tries to lift it up. The runners and these sides. I guess this thing is done. I just give it like 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour maybe. I'll come back, buff it up with shop towels or like just like another clean rag. And then what I do is like learn from again Paul Sellers. Simple, I have a kiwi shoe brush. You can show that. And I just buff it up using that. It brings like, it makes it so much good. So this one, simplest thing, and these are all like simplicity in things. You don't need like all the expensive stuff and all. I mean, they make things easier for like mass making. So I have to clean the drawers, but I don't want to do it near this one. I'll just take it a little bit away because this one has wax and it's now a dirt magnet. I have to be careful to not drop it because my hands are all slippery, soaked with wax. I mean, this is already like it's soaked with wax. I don't need to bring too much. Ash is so beautiful. Like I would never want to stay in this. So if you see, this is like the obviously the easier grain to work with. Looks amazing. This is like very wiry grain. How much of it comes out, you can see. Difficult, very difficult to work, but I like the look of it, like really. I don't know, maybe it depends on like person to person, but if you can, like, I like the even final look of this wiry grain and all. I mean, given a chance, probably I would not buy that because I know it's going to give me a very hard time, especially with hand tools. But I would not avoid it as much also. And by the way, when I initially started, I started with a, like, I resawed this piece like a from a single piece of supili, like to have a book match, and then made two pieces out of it so that the front of the two drawers were book matched. But because if you remember, my first attempt was a failure, I had to pick up another piece. It's not an exact book match, but it comes out just fine. And I think it doesn't make as much of a difference. I would have preferred to have a book match, but I don't mind this at all. I mean, so hard to feel with hands, like which ones I covered. I am all drenched with wax. And this wax is not that hard. It's relatively soft. Now I can work on the plywood. It's going to take a lot of wax, I get a feeling. I mean, this plywood has a lot of raised grain after I applied shellac. It was rough, but after applying shellac, it was even more rough. I didn't sand it too much because it's plywood. I don't know, I didn't want to peel off a layer and then how will it look? A great invention, an important invention. I don't dislike plywood as much as I dislike MDF, but I don't find any joy working with plywood really. For smaller projects, I have made like hardboard, like solid wood bottoms, drawer bottom. They look very nice, but plywood for them, like same amount of thickness, I think can get a little bit stronger, I guess. And you don't have to think too much about expansion contraction. So it's slightly lets you get away with things. So that's done. The buffing is done. I will take these pieces home. Yeah, see you again. So yeah, hi. So I have like taken the top unit or the top of the unit home. I had waxed it, so I have already buffed it up and it's all ready to be assembled. That's in my home. So yesterday I applied the fourth coat of shellac on these two pieces, like this main unit and this is the drawer face. So I will be doing the same thing. Like I will use 4O steel wool and I will be de-nibbing the surface. I will apply some wax and I will take it home just to create more space here, and then maybe wait for a couple of hours or so, and then I will buff it up. This should be all ready. I have to apply more screws on these drawer slides. I just left it there. That's a trivial task. I have to apply more shellac on the main drawer. I will do at least apply one more coat. I'm not too inclined to apply more coats there because I don't see it making any difference to the look of poplar. So I don't see like why I would do that, because like this is not really protecting wood. So if it doesn't improve the appearance in any way, then I don't think I should spend that much time. I'll just put some wax and buff it up. So I tried to get rid of the marks as much as I could see. Not that I intentionally kept everything, but whatever is left there, I don't bother. Again, this is for like my own home, but not necessary everyone would like that. So if someone is building for a customer, they may desire to have it fully cleaned of all. By the way, I did apply some like almost like carelessly across grain with grain some shellac on the inside part wherever I could reach. But that's I just did that so that there is uniform moisture absorption. That's the only reason. This is the back side. It will be like likely be hidden like behind like against the wall. Still, I spent so much time there because I have built it, so I want it to look good. And who knows, like someday we may want to keep it in the center of some room. So how this feels and the sound. I haven't even put wax. So once I put more wax, or I put wax, it's going to be... I see a little bit of sloppy work on the finish application on the inside part. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intentional, but it all works. The steel wool is like helping get rid of the imperfections like quite remarkably. I think I've covered everything. Same thing, I will have to go over everything with wax. I will use the old piece that already has the wax. So I'll just... Yes, it is making my arms sore, but I go for it. And I think this step of like using steel wool and wax, you can probably apply on any finish. I mean, always read the manufacturer instructions for other types of finishes. I believe on water-based, like say acrylic or those kind of like finish, they may not suggest this because if that is not cured and since it has water, the steel may get trapped and cause rust. That's the reason probably, as I understand, they may not be suggesting. But if you allow it to be cured and then go over it, I'm pretty sure it's going to enhance the appearance and smoothness. They are plastic type finishes, so acrylic is plastic. So in any case, that's going to be very smooth, no doubt about that. By itself, I mean, even without steel wool or anything. But this is going to get rid of the imperfections that we bring in. This is done, I guess. Okay, I'll do the same thing on the main unit. Okay, this thing I have put all the wax and everything. I haven't left any spot. So I'll be taking these two pieces home. I'll be applying maybe one more coat of shellac and wax the main drawer unit, and then I will buff up everything and ready for assembly. Probably I'll show the video, record it like the assembly, because that's the moment of to release the final outcome. So yeah, see you then.